Hey everybody, it's Lance with the Ride of Lance. And today, this ride's just for me. But I'm bringing you along. And I mean, I'm not doing any bike reviews, testing, anything like that. I'm just out for a nice, I guess you could call this a mountain bike ride, but it's more of just a mellow, easy trail. I wanted to get back into, I guess you could call this our local backcountry, and just get out for a ride before it gets too hot today. I think it's going to get in probably the mid 90s out here. And I brought you guys along on this ride before, but I'm just going to take it easy. I just want a mellow, easy ride today, like a stress-reducing ride. It's been I have to say, it has been a trying last 2 months. Things have happened. You're probably aware if you watch some of my videos, but I'm not going to get into that. Today, I just want to do a mellow ride so I can actually just see the sights, see nature. Sometimes you go through this too fast and you just concentrate more on the trail, not crashing, than you do on the beauty of the trail you're on. Look at this manzanita tree. It's pretty cool, isn't it? But I am on the Xpeak today. Perfect bike for this type of riding. Haven't done any more modifications to it because I don't think I need to. I think I've got it just where I want it now. Now, that being said, my secret bike, the one I keep teasing you guys about, they still haven't released it yet, and I have no idea when it's going to be now. They originally told me mid-July to late July. Well, now we're in August. So we'll just have to keep waiting for that one until they give me the okay to release. But that bike is kind of challenger to this bike, but in a different class. It is specifically made for off-road. I can't get into too many details. I don't want to get in trouble with the company if I give out too much information. But let's just say a trail like this, that bike is probably a little overkill. It'll just eat this trail up. But like I said, I know I keep saying it. I was hoping they would be on time with the release so I could put it out there, so I didn't drag out the teasing too long, but it looks like I got to drag it out a little longer. But yeah, today's just a day I want to get out. I want to exercise the legs. I want to breathe a little heavy. And I just want to be out here, see this outdoors. Now this area is local to me. I'll put the description or the name of this area in the description of the video. So if you live around here, you can come out and explore this too. This is a multi-use trail, but it's one way for bikes. So once you get on it, you can't turn around and come back the other way. Now this is, I believe, about a 5-mile loop the way I'm going. But there are other trails off in the hills over here that you can take and make it a longer ride. Now, I've never been over there. I think it's, from what I've seen in videos and stuff, it looks like it might be a little rougher, a little steeper. but it will be where I take the secret bike, because it will be able to handle that. But for today, let's just keep cruising. Maybe talk about a few things. But really, this ride is just for the mental relaxation. Let the stresses of my regular job hopefully blow away. Hey, look, right here. We're in the middle of summer. We still got some water coming off the hill. All right, wow, that was a hard water crossing right there. I think I got 5 inches of the wheel wet. I don't know if you guys remember the video of me riding the Velotric Summit 1 on this trail. And then about a quarter of the way through, when I was taking a break, I realized I left my phone back on the tailgate of my truck. And then I decided to really push it too hard, and went into a turn too fast, and I just couldn't keep the front end from wandering off the trail. So we wandered off the trail, and I crashed, ate a lot of dust, doing a lot of coughing. Didn't get hurt, but it did slow me down. So it's not worth it, because when I went off that trail, I was heading right for an oak tree. Fortunately, I went down before I hit that oak tree. I also landed about 2 or 3 inches away from a face full of poison oak. That would have not been fun at all. Yeah, I like this kind of riding. Yeah, the soul has been a little conflicted lately. And I think it's just the mind wanting to still be young, but the body saying, better not. And it's been really wanting to mountain bike. Well, I guess you could say I'm kind of mountain bike right now, but more of the rougher stuff. But then I think about it, and I'm like, but this is what I enjoy too. So I don't feel the need anymore to try and push the limits. I don't think there's any need to. I know some people will disagree. It's like always trying to do something to better yourself. And I agree in most cases. But what am I trying to better myself for? It's not like I'm going to start mountain bike racing or be one of these daredevils. And the faster you go, the less of the scenery you get to see. I really wanted to get here in spring. It just didn't work out. When all this would have been green. Now it's the midsummer brown. And now we're coming into the drier part of the year, so now the wildfires are going to be a concern. Let's just hope there is none, especially in an area like this. This thing would just go up like that. And then they would probably close it for years and years. We had the lightning complex fires here about, I don't know, what has it been, about 4 or 5 years ago. We have a state park up in the mountains, Redwood State Park. It was 3 years before they opened it up. When they opened it up, it was just a tiny portion. I don't know about now, but it just takes them a long time. I mean, a fire like that, you're talking about huge trees that burned and fell over, and the ones that they needed to cut down just to make it safe for people, so I kind of understand. But here, I don't think there would be much priority to do that if it happened here. But how is this? I just like riding in and out of these trees. Now we got a breeze picking up, which actually feels really nice. We'll see when we get back into the open area. Still got some views. If you love oak trees, this is the place to come ride or hike. On the back side of this trail, on our way back, on the back part of the loop, we're going to get into a lot more. So you'll see those. It gets a lot thicker and the trail a lot windier. But we're going to go up here on this little knoll up here. I'm going to stop and drink some water, because before this video started, I already put some trail time in. So I'm gonna go up here and gulp down a bottle of water, see some more views, and enjoy the break. There we go. See all that? Unfortunately, that out there is just a big tinderbox. That's why I'm hoping for no fires this year. Or any year. All right, break over. We are back on the trail. Met up with a couple of nice mountain bikers at that rest stop. Didn't record it, but just had a nice conversation. They're just out here doing the same thing. I think they're doing it more for their exercise, because they're talking about their special watches that are monitoring their heart rate, their stress levels and stuff. I just got my Citizen watch and my GoPro remote. And if I start huffing and puffing too much, that's when I know when to slow down. But I can see what they're doing is more for training. Maybe training to ride longer, or just training for better health. It's probably something I need to look into sooner than later. Which brings me on to another subject. Well, not really another subject, but about the mountain bikes, regular mountain bikes, and maybe getting one of those for my health, not necessarily for hard riding, but for exercise. Love the e-bikes, not giving that up. But I see the advantages of doing something you love and something that's fun to help yourself get into better shape. Now, I'm not saying you can't do that with an e-bike, It's just with a mountain bike or, you know, a non-e-bike, you don't have any choice. You come out in a place like this, like I said, I'm on a one-way trail, and I have to rely on myself to pedal out of it. That's why I also want to, not only for my health, but just in case I ever do something like that, even on an e-bike, if suddenly the electronics stop working and I got to pedal myself out of that. I need to be able to pedal myself out of that. So I am looking. I know I've been watching Matty Active. I don't know if any of you guys are, but he's like the down-to-earth mountain biker. It's kind of like us. You don't need the best. You don't need the most expensive. You don't need all this, you need all that to just get out there and have fun and get exercise. But lately he's been talking about this, you know, new Trek Roscoe 8, 9. That does look appealing, you know. It's not full suspension, but it's got decent components on it. And it doesn't seem to be overly priced. I mean, it's still expensive, but we're not talking in the 3,000 range. I think one version is like either 14, 15, or 16.99, and the other one is, I think, just over $2,000. So it would be comparable to the e-bikes I've been getting lately to review. But I see the benefit of you know, coming home from work and just getting on that thing and riding around the neighborhood, or on a weekend spend a couple hours on a trail like this for the exercise portion or part of it, and of course fun. It's always fun to get your exercise doing a sport you like. It's when you're exercising with going to the gym. I mean, a lot of people like going to the gym, but if you just say you're forcing yourself to exercise in, and that's when it doesn't become fun and kind of becomes more of a I don't want to go today type thing. You know, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do twice as much tomorrow. Tomorrow comes and I'll do 3 times as much next day, and then the next day comes, then you just don't go. And now you have a gym membership you never use. I'm sure that's happened to a lot of people. They have the greatest intentions in mind, but just didn't have something that really motivated them or was fun to do. Well, when you find something that's fun to do, that exercising actually becomes a fun part of that activity. And of course, the more you do it, the better results you'll see, just, you know, not in your riding, but in your health. And you're like, hey, you know, when I first started this, I couldn't do that hill. I was like huffing and puffing, and, you know, a month or 2 later you do that and you're not huffing and puffing, you're just cruising right through. And you're seeing the progress and you're feeling good about yourself. I think that's really the motivator, is when you do something and you're exercising and you start being consistent at it, and you start feeling, not only start seeing, but you start feeling the results. Your body feels better inside. You feel better mentally. So that's what I just may be striving for now. I'm not saying I'm not going to be a mountain biker. Or some people would say, oh, you're switching sides. No, it's all related. I don't care what people say. You know, I'm mountain biking right now. Some people say, no, you're not. You're on a toy bike. Yeah, well, I'll let people think what they want to think. They're allowed to think what they want to think, but a lot of people know it's not true, so. Anyways, days. It really has been a mild summer. I mean, we're in August, and we haven't had really any super hot days like we've had like the past 5 years, where we've gotten into triple digits, and then the night's not cooling down. I mean, we've got, like I said, we've gotten into the 90s, but then the nights, cool down to a nice, 56 degrees. Keep those windows open, get that nice cool air coming in. Don't need to turn the air conditioning on, even though I don't have air conditioning. But I'm just, I'm kind of worried that, mid-August, we're just going to all of a sudden get a scorcher. But it's September and October are the months that we got to really watch out for fires. I mean, we do now, but September, October, this stuff is just, it is bone dry. And then we get into extremely low humidity, and then we have problems. But like I said earlier, I'm hoping that's not going to be true this year, or any year, but we'll see. But isn't this just a nice ride? I mean, you don't have to go fast to enjoy things. See the mountains, what's around me. I know I'm always looking for a new place to explore. I might be taking the bike there, or even just, hiking there and seeing what things are. Yeah, I definitely want to do some more adventure riding in places I haven't been yet. Do some exploring. That's fun. Let's gonna take this down, get by the lake, see how the lake is doing, see how the lake level is. This is the area I gotta keep an eye on my speed, because we just have some blind corners. You gotta watch out for hikers coming up, since this is a multi-use trail. But you can see how, for those who want to ride fast, how this would be just a really fun trail. Okay, now that we've turned away from the lake, we are coming into the oak grove portion. This is where the oak trees are. It's much more thicker than the trail going through, and a little twistier, which is always fun. But here we go. I'm glad to see they took that fence off. We can just ride right through now. So I have to stop to open the gate. So yeah, now we come into more shade and cooler. And a lot more oak trees. Like I said, if you love oak trees, this is a place to go. Place to hike around or ride. Especially in the fall. It's nice here in the fall. Of course, it's nice in the spring too, and everything else is green around it. You get the fall, you get some of the changing colors. Not like what you get back east or up in the mountains. Back it off. I don't need PAS5 on this stuff. But yeah, this is a great trail just to ride, just like I'm doing now. I think my average speed has been about 9 or 10 miles an hour on this whole trail. It's been a few faster spots, but doing exactly what I want to do today. Just take it easy through these trails. I'm not in a hurry. Winding in and out. Feels good. We're getting it's a nice breeze that's head on. So what do you think? What is your opinion? Would you get a regular mountain bike too, besides an e-bike? For exercise or fun, or just to have both, so you can do both as you please? I see the benefits of both. Or should it be an EMTB? Now you're talking in some bigger bucks there. Well, we've almost come full circle now. I can see the parking lot off in the distance. So you guys have a great day, great ride, great week, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.